Back in New Zealand, 5 or so weeks away visiting friends, family in the UK. It's looking a little bit sad out here, so I just thought I'd show you what has been happening. Come back to the garden. I was a little bit hesitant to look outside because I knew it wasn't going to be great. It's not great. We've had a few minor incidents. I suspect the black Labrador. Nova, come here. Come on. What have you been up to, What have you been up to while we've been away? Hey? We had a house sitter in, but there was just too much kind of instructions I had for the garden, so I just ended up saying, don't worry about it. What will happen will happen. It's winter. Hopefully there's time for me to recover for spring flowers. I'll show you the main incident. Of all the things that could have happened, it happened to be the delphiniums. So this was kind of the first thing I saw when we got back. So I had status in here. There was kind of like a row or two of status, and then it was my seed grow delphiniums, which we know aren't the easiest to grow. Yeah, and I suspect it was the dog who's been in there. I did have this cover on too, and we were just packing last minute, and I was just like, oh, I just can't be bothered to chuck it on. But she likes sleeping in here because I think it gets warm along the wall here. I should have known. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating because I've just found autumn planted status. It's just way taller, way more productive than kind of anything I'm going to sow in spring. And it was my white status bed, which I kind of rely on as a main crop. But that's all right. We'll re-sow. The delphinium, I don't know if I'm going to bother doing any more from seed now. Just because, yeah, it's kind of a lovely crop, but it's not going to be one of my staples, and I think now I just need to fill that bed with anything that's going to be quick. What's in here? Oh no. 1 second. And the lid to my in-ground composter has blown off onto my Gadisha, and that looks like it's rotted. I hadn't seen that one yesterday. There's still a few that will survive. And I think I told you before, so this is Gadisha, which is a new crop. I haven't grown it before. I'll put a little clip of what it looks like in, but I think I need to pinch those. I'm going to do a little bit of research around when the best time to pinch those is. So yeah, that's not the worst. The delphinium bed's definitely worse than that. You can kind of see in the back here, this was the vegetable patch when we moved in, and this is kind of like the biggest growing area I have now. I kind of have all my beds scattered around different areas of the garden, but this is the main one. I'll show you what's going on in here. Not much order to any of it. I've got some feverfew here, carnations dianthus. These were all autumn sown stock, late summer sown scabiosa. That one must be salmon queen, I think. That was the only pink seed that I had. And moving down, we've got more status here. I need to get in and do some weeding. Ranunculus and poppies. Oh no. This was a tree that I just ran out of time to plant before we left. Oh, it was a hazel. I might see if that, I don't know if it's got any life left in it. The poppies, they look like they've been flowering, so I'll just cut those, or just deadhead those ones. More ranunculus under there. I've got tulips all under here. And these look like they've been doing well. Mega stem length dianthus, they're Chaboude France. And I can see here that the corn cockle's gone to seed too whilst I'm away, so I just rescatter that. They look like this when they flower. Snapdragons, they flowered when I was away. They would have been really pretty. They are the, what are they? I think they're the Maryland shell pink ones. And they would have been beautiful. Really long stems, a little bit of rust, but I think that's probably just happened since I've been away, and they would have been fine cutting. And then this row is a mega mess. I did have some larkspur planted at the end there. And I try and keep this row free from any autumn sowings because I plant my sunflowers here. I just do a succession planting of sunflowers through this whole row. So there's not a whole lot that I want to put in there during kind of autumn and winter. But yeah, you can see it's just a total mess. I am going to get in here and do some tidying, maybe at the weekend. I'm going back to work on Friday, so yeah, I've got a few more days to get over the jet lag. Look at these poppies, they're so sweet. I don't think I grew these from seed. I think these were just like a Mitre 10 6-pack. I did have some fancy Colibri poppies that I'd grown from seed in here, but it looks like they haven't made it. Yeah, they were only tiny when I transplanted them, so they probably just needed a bit more care than I gave them. These are Scabiosa and they look to be doing quite well, and I've done a, one second, I'll just move around. I did a Achillea sowing here too. Oh, some Persian crests popping up, but they look to be doing okay. I need to get in and do some weeding. Oxalis, I hate this stuff. Do you have this in your garden? It's an absolute nightmare. But yeah, the Achillea looks like it's doing well, and these are definitely doing well. I've got some sheep's wool around these, and they definitely look like the healthiest thing in the garden right now, so I'm wondering if that has helped them. These two beds, these were my newest beds that I put a whole load of stock in, which is obviously flowered when I was away. I knew when I sowed this that there was going to be a risk that I was just going to miss it. But these are actually looking really good. Mignonette in here, Delphinium survived the dog incident. And this Statice is looking a bit soggy, like rotting. This space doesn't get any sun in, oh sorry, it's not a good shot. This doesn't get any sun in winter, but in summer it gets quite good sun. It's kind of up against this big wall here, which is where the sun comes over. So yeah, winter nothing, but then it comes a bit higher. The sun comes a bit higher and it gets sun in summer. But yeah, it's looking a little bit soggy in there, but I think we've had a lot of rain since I've been away, so that probably has not helped either. And then over here, foxgloves, Persian crests, which is coming up, and these foxgloves are looking soggy too. These ones are okay. These are the Apricot Beauty, and then these ones are the Cafe Creme, which, yeah, I don't know if they're looking great, but oh, and a tray of Statice that never was planted. Maybe I'll need that now. The whole other bed was dug up. I didn't plant this because I figured out it was the Forever Happy mix I'd sown, and I kind of wanted a few more white this year and apricot, so I just didn't have room for these, so I've just kind of left them. But yeah, maybe they will be a good backup if I chuck those in where the dog got in. But that's those two beds. I think I've got some gladioli bulbs in there too. It's all a bit chaotic. There's another disaster too, which, yeah, I knew this was going to be a disaster because I gave no instructions, and I just said, just don't even bother, I'm going to do a big clean out when I get back of everything in here. It's pretty dismal. I'll show you the greenhouse. So there's a swamp going on in here. These were seed-grown ranunculus. The wind's obviously blown over whatever that was. Oh, that was my jewels of opal. So they're all gone. Oh no. Feverfew cuttings. They look alright, seeing as they probably haven't had, oh, I don't know how these have survived. Random sunflowers, because they haven't had any rain. These were all my autumn chrysanthemum cuttings, which they rooted beautifully. But obviously, yeah, I just went away and it's all died. But look at the state of it. So bad. But at least it gives me a job to get in here and clean it all out. And it will be good for spring plantings. That's basil. If that had been watered, I would have had basil all winter. It just cranked out the leaves. Yeah, obviously hasn't been watered in 6 weeks, so it's dead now, but That would have done really well. I'm going to get in here and do something about it over the weekend. So I'd give you a very, very ugly wide shot of what's going on. So yeah, main vegetable bed. Over there, that's where the scabious was that I showed you, kind of in that border. I've got cutting beds around here, which are mainly ranunculus at the moment. That's the delphinium disaster and the greenhouse, those two beds, and then I'll show you where I've got my tulips. They are just over here. I'll walk across, ignore all the mess over here. These ranunculus are looking really good though. They might be the saving grace of spring. And these were this is my main chrysanthemum bed. So I was just kind of experimenting to see if these will be fine. And I think they will. Like they've got green on them. I don't think they're rotted. I think that's the main worry with chrysanthemums, is if you leave them in a really damp place over winter, the roots will just rot and they'll die. But these are looking okay so far, so that's another positive. More ranunculus over the back there. And this was Dara. Never grown Dara before, so just got a little tiny patch of Dara there. And then going across. Again, apologies for the mess. Obviously netting's down. Sunflower death patch. But this is a big strip of tulips all the way back here. And then I've done tulips here too. So this patch and this patch. I think did I order 1,000? I think I've got about 1,000 in. So yeah, this is kind of meant to be more of a aesthetic border, I guess, garden border, as opposed to a cut flower bed, but I ran out of room for the tulips, so I just took a section here. I think it was mainly campion that I had in here. Oh, I can see some of the tulips coming up. Yay! So that's a bit of a winter garden update, a neglected winter garden update. Seeing the pond froze over. It's been so cold here, really cold. Yeah, so looking very messy. It's okay if it looks messy. It's winter. A lot of stuff's died back. And I've been away, so I'm just accepting that it is what it is. I'm going to start sewing again soon, so I'll show you what I'm sewing. Yeah, it will be okay.